Most AI images aren't drawn, they're destroyed and rebuilt. Seriously, both diffusion and GAN models generate images, but they get there in completely opposite ways. One starts with chaos and finds order. The other pits two neural networks against each other in a fight. Same output, totally different battle happening under the hood. Diffusion models, think Midjourney, buildi, stable diffusion, start with pure random noise, like a TV with no signal. Then they run a denoising process, step by step, slowly sculpting an image out of that static. It usually takes 20 to 50 steps just to produce one picture. GANs work nothing like that. GAN stands for Generative Adversarial Network, and the word adversarial is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. You've got two networks, a generator that makes fake images and a discriminator that tries to catch the fakes. They train by constantly trying to outsmart each other. But here's where it gets wild. GANs can generate a face in milliseconds. Diffusion models can take several seconds or even minutes. Speed-wise, GANs absolutely destroy diffusion. But that speed comes with a serious trade-off you need to know about. GANs are notoriously hard to train. They collapse. They mode drop, meaning they start producing the same type of image over and over. Getting a GAN to generalize across wildly different prompts is genuinely painful. That's why most GAN tools stayed in narrow lanes, faces, art styles, specific domains. Diffusion models are slower, but shockingly more flexible. You can ask them for a cyberpunk igloo at sunset, and they'll actually try. That flexibility is why diffusion basically took over the AI image space starting around 2022. Stable diffusion alone has been downloaded tens of millions of times. So why do GANs still matter? Tools like StyleGAN 3 can generate photorealistic human faces that literally don't exist and do it fast enough for real-time applications. Video game companies, film studios, and deepfake researchers still reach for GANs when speed and realism in a tight domain is the priority. But here's where it gets wild. Diffusion models are now being sped up with techniques like SDXL Turbo, which can generate images in a single step. The gap is closing fast. The slowest thing about diffusion is becoming less of a problem every few months. One more thing people get wrong. GANs hallucinate differently than diffusion models. GANs tend to fail with weird textures and artifacts, especially hands and teeth. Diffusion models fail by being too smooth, too dreamlike, almost overly coherent. Different failure modes, different use cases. The practical takeaway? If you're building something that needs speed and a narrow output range, portraits, style transfer, real-time generation, GANs are still worth your attention. If you need creative flexibility, text-to-image power, or community support, diffusion wins by a mile right now. Think about it like this. GANs are a race car, purpose-built, fast, fragile. Diffusion models are an SUV, slower off the line, but they go anywhere. Neither is better in every situation. Knowing which tool fits your road is the whole game. 3 things to remember. Diffusion equals noise to image, slow but flexible. GAN equals generator versus discriminator, fast but narrow. And the gap between them is shrinking faster than most people realize. Which one are you actually using in your projects right now? And has it ever frustrated you in ways you didn't expect?